Jacob.
Yes, people, happy Monday. Big up. Hope you're having a great, fantastic Monday. Hope you're blessed, and specifically too blessed to be stressed. Now, I know if you're a Spurs fan like me, you're probably a little bit stressed, but that's okay, because life can be blessed while Tottenham does its best to drag you down. And I didn't even mean to make all that kind of rhyme like some kind of shitty poem from a off-brand B-Tech Shakespeare, but hey, look, I'll say it. I'm okay today. I was very, very upset yesterday, and I've had a long thought and a long been thinking, but anyway, we'll get into that. I don't know why it says Jacob United Spurs of America there, because you already know that. I'll move that so you can see Chewy. How about that? But big up to everybody who's in the house. Hello, everyone. Whether you're live or on playback, make sure you are hitting a like, subscribe to the video. We're on the road to 5,500. I haven't updated this, but it's like we're like 6 more. Right now, there's 6 more than what this reflects. So big up to you who have been subscribing and helping share the channel out there. But look, obviously a lot to talk about, and I don't have the most time. But I squeezed in as much as I could. No pause on that. But I did want to look at a few different reactions from some Spurs fans, a few different things that have been going on online. Quotes from players, quotes from Ange, a lot to talk about. So I'm going to shout out the chat very, very quickly, and then I'm going to get to all the nitty gritty. And as you can see right here, I've got a very interesting quote that I saw right before I started streaming today. It was from Pep Guardiola. It says, "My job is to take you to the final third, and your job is to finish." And this is from a City account. City Chief, to be specific. Look, there you go. I'll make it look like that for you. Now, I'll just leave that there, and I'll say hello real quick. Big up Derek Smith. Referring to the poll, which I have a poll in the chat, and it says, "How are you the day after?" Right now, 39% says, "I'm angry, upset, but I'm grown and life go on." And we got to keep on trucking sometimes, don't we? And then tied at 21% apiece. Ange out now. He's the problem. Club is and always has been the issue. And club and players comfy but being players and club comfy with being mediocre. I tried to give representation, and Derek Smith says, no, you didn't do it good enough. None of the above. The squad is way better than last year. We dominated Arsenal this season. The only missing ingredient is goals, and I'm very comfortable knowing that it will come. Look out then. Big up Derek Smith. I appreciate that comment. Let me know how you feel. I hope you are doing well. Good, sir. Steven Seagal. Oh, you know, as mandatory, when I see a seagull that isn't named Ryan Gloria, I have to play a video for you. So I do apologize to anyone who does love seagulls. I just need y'all to know the official stance on the channel. If I can find, I got too many damn clips now that I'm looking at it, but here you go. This is the movie we have. The seagull. Big up to you, Steven. Even if you are a seagull. Big up Zapur. Can only blame the staff for not securing a real right wing. Yeah, we conceded a set piece, but you're not going to win any game scoring 0 goals. That's what Ange has rightfully been focused on. Ange in to all you impatient, incessant, insufferable babies. Get a grip. Big up Zapur. Strong words for the fan base. Big up Perchi on loan at Espanyol, getting to watch himself some Valise. Says, big up Jacob, love you, bro. But for me, this manager has lost it. His form has just gone to pot. First time not watching the derby was the best thing ever. Signings have been poor and the form gets worse. Now, there was once upon a time a good friend of mine did stop watching Tottenham, and I found it to be an egregious thing that should be righted by the club and can only be righted between that person and the club, such as yourself right now, Perchi. And I would never tell you what to do with your life. I would never tell you how to support Tottenham as a Tottenham fan. I understand people's qualms with Tottenham and why they are upset with it as well. But hopefully throughout the entirety of this, you will know my full stance on where we are all at with everything, or at least where I'm at. But big up Perchy, always good to see you in the house. Says, not saying Ange out because what difference does it do? Very good point. The manager will get himself the sack if the form doesn't improve. Very astute point as well. George, big up everyone. Smash the like and say, hey, big up George. Good to see you in the house. Cursor, big up. Good to see you as well. Back in the house. Ryan Gloria says, I was entertained. Ange kept his word. You should stop that right now, Ryan. Seems like everyone else is entertained, Ryan, except Spurs fans. Yeah. Big up Perchy. For me, the love of this club has dwindled. So I'm not even annoyed anymore. Just accepted what we are and nothing is going to change. That's a tough stance there, buddy. Doesn't matter who's in charge, says Jordan. Besides maybe a handful of players, none of them are really up for it in big matches. And I did tweet something yesterday, and I want to share that with y'all who don't follow me on Twitter, and that's okay, because Twitter is a fucking weird-ass place, and I wouldn't blame you one bit for not being there. But I did tweet this. Wait, hang on. Not that. Not that. Hang on. These aren't the things I was trying to show you. It's this. I really, at full time, this is how I felt, and I tweeted it. It said, I'm at a loss for words. Toothless, spineless, no bark, etc. But to be honest, a lot of folks that I had faith in are now making me waver in my belief. And I said, I hope I'm overreacting. But this is from me. This is how I felt. So, who's to say how anyone feels is right or wrong? I would never be that person. I can only tell you how I feel. But yeah, man, yesterday was fucked, to put it the most blunt way I can. Views on Sports says, big up Jacob. Big up to you, Views on Sports. Big up Spurs GCTV. Hello, Two Sides of the Pitch podcast. Big up to Ben Kaufman becoming a member. What did you've always been a member. How long? Welcome to the Lover's Lane, my friend. Big up. Welcome. No idea why my membership stopped, but why my membership stopped, but all love, Ben Kaufman. Big up to you. No worries. I didn't even know it did. But I'm glad that you're back, because, there's a few people that are competing with you to be the #1 longest YouTube chat member, which right now, Ben Kaufman, you hold the record for. ZX says, Ange Postecoglou, a.k.a. Ange lost the plot glue. What the fuck? Props Jacob for getting up here and talking about our club. Pretty demoralized, not going to lie. And it's mostly because of our fans. And look, support, I'm going to tell you right now, I agree with you 100%. Did I want to do this stream today? No. Did I want to get up here and have to tell people why I still believe in Ange Postecoglou, why I think it's an overreaction by people who want to see his head roll? No, I didn't. Because again, I don't like to tell people how to feel. And I hate fucking losing. And I hate Arsenal winning. You combine those two and you get a conglomerate of big fuck you to Jacob. And a lot of other people feel the same way. And a lot of other people feel differently. But here's the thing. Ange Postecoglou is not the problem. I've always defended the fans and said it's not the fans' fault either. But I'm getting to this point where I kind of feel like, you know what? Spurs fans seem to want to just chase their tail in purgatory forever. And like Perchy said, maybe I got to accept it and just get on with it, because this constant Poch out, Jose out, Nuno out, I agreed with, Conte out, all those except Nuno, I agreed with. Or excuse me, reverse that. I disagree with everyone who wanted all those managers out, because I knew what those managers were trying to do and what those managers were and still are capable of. Antonio Conte is #1 in the Serie A right now with Napoli for a reason. They finished 10th last year in the Serie A, and right now they're top of the table. It is early doors, granted, but he got a couple of pieces that he wanted. He stood firm on his business, but I think there's a lot of things that can be true at the same time. Now, I keep this clip because it used to be funny to me, but it still rings true to this day.
Be involved in this situation, because it's time to change the situation if Tottenham wants to change. If they want to continue in this way, they can change manager, a lot of manager, but the situation cannot change, believe me. Thank you very much.
You can change the manager, but you cannot change the Tottenham unless the Tottenham want to change the Tottenham. You understand? So we cut off Ange's head, and guess what? We're fucking right back at square one, trying to build a fucking philosophy with some manager. And to me, it really grinds my gears. How many times must we make the bed and then you fuck the bed? And then we make the bed, then you fuck the bed. Eventually, I'm going to stop caring whether that bed is made or not, because it's driving me crazy as a Spurs fan to see all this Ange out, Poch out, Jose out. It's just like, when? Conte was right about Tottenham and the fans. We just want to chop and change and give me my passy. And then you get your passy. Oh, now I want the titty. Oh, now you get your titty. And then now, oh, let me get my passy again because the titty wasn't actually as good as the passy. But then you get the passy. You're like, you don't want the passy? Let's try something else. Let me get the chewing toy. Oh, now you get the chewing toy. Well, guess what? The chewing toy doesn't work now. And everything just doesn't fucking work. And you know who does all that? A baby. My babies that I'm blessed with. Okay, try this. Okay, try this. And then when none of it works, I just say, you know what? They're a baby. And I just got to accept that they're going to win. And that's literally how I feel about Tottenham fans. Because as much as I was pissed off and Ange upset me yesterday, and I do hold him to the fire on things, like starting Brennan Johnson. Why the fuck are we starting Brennan Johnson again? I don't care if the North London Derby's too big of a pool to throw the young man Odegaard in, Mikey Moore, something like that. We've all seen what happens with Brennan Johnson out there. Now, it's also true that he doesn't deserve to be abused to the point where he deactivates his Instagram. That's disgusting. You can be upset with a player and still be like, I hope you live a successful life and enjoy yourself in life, but you are just not good enough for my club. Like, that can be true as well. And I just feel like we're at a point now, because things haven't been great. Last season, they weren't great, but they exclude the times that were great. And I'm not saying that we're going to ever get back to that 10 matches undefeated where we look immaculate on all sides of the ball, because our philosophy, there is a game plan. Like, there's things that is truthful in the arguments against Ange Postecoglou and his tactics that I agree with and some that I don't. But you cannot blame Ange Postecoglou for Romero being pushed in the back and then within 2 seconds of that happening, him getting scored on and then looking at the refs for a fucking saving him. I've said it many different ways and I don't know the best way to say it. But I'm pissed off at Romero. I'll tell you right now, I got his shirt up because I support him and I think that he still is a great fucking player, but he got fucking dunked on. And that is on him. Ange didn't say, hey, if you get pushed in the back, look for the ref with your arms up. That'll help. Now, there's a clip that I got from someone who shot it at the stadium. I saw it on Twitter, and it's literally, like, I try to go frame by frame, and it's like 1-2 seconds where Romero, after he's pushed in the back, and he comes down, it's like 1.5 seconds, and then Gabriel's going boink with the ball. Now, that 1.5 seconds, he's looking, it looks like to me, he's looking for the ref. That is fucking weak. That is shit. And to me, that is on Romero. That's not Ange telling him to do that. Another thing that Ange isn't telling players to do, I don't believe that Ange Postecoglou has told Son, take one legitimate shot in 180 minutes of football. One. I don't know why Son fucking doesn't shoot anymore. But when I went through all the 20 shots of Newcastle, and then I went through and I looked at the shots, and we could do it again today, because this is what today is about, ladies and gentlemen. We got to look at the poo-poo, and we got to clean the poo-poo, and we have to, realize, how do we not get poo-poo on the floor again? But when I look at the shots, let me share this with you. Look at these. One shot. Okay, so he had 2 shots in 180 minutes. Kulu, Solanke, Brennan, Solanke, Van de Veen, Brennan, Sarr, Romero, Kulu, Odegaard, then Son. So 2 shots in 180 minutes. Oh, y'all can't even see that down there. Sorry. I was cycling through it right here, if you don't believe me. So this is all our chances. And the very last one is Son. And to me, he is our most lethal player. The thing that Son can do now, no one can dispute. You can talk about his dribbling ability, which I'm questionable at this point. You could talk about his passing ability. You can talk about his pace. All that's fine. But one thing that everyone will be pretty much agreeing on is he is a fucking fantastic finisher. People don't want to call him world-class, but they'll say he's a world-class finisher. Now, I'm okay with that because I agree. He is a world-class finisher. But he should not be the only dude. Why is it Kulu, son? All these motherfuckers shooting it that aren't as good as Son. Pablo Matasar comes onto the pitch, has a shot within a minute. Last year, Højbjerg comes onto the pitch, 20 seconds later has a crack at goal. So Ange is not saying don't fucking shoot it from distance. Brendan Johnson even said something last year to the effect of he's encouraging us to, when we get space, shoot it from distance. So I don't know why Son is fucking passing the ball all the time. During my watch along, there were several times that I remember cognitively saying, please just shoot it, Son. Fuck everybody, just shoot it. And he doesn't. Newcastle, same thing. Every game this year, same thing. Last year it was happening a lot as well. My questions right now in that regard is why is Son sharing the sugar when, goddamn it, I need some in my coffee and I ain't got none at the house because you gave it to everybody. He has one shot at the fucking death of the game. Bro, I need you to lift me up the entirety of the game. Shoot, Son, shoot. You're my favorite player. I'll hold you to a standard in which you have been not meeting, that I've been excusing. I still believe he can get there. Just like my belief in Ange Postecoglou is still there, that he can get us to the team that I want us to be, that other people want us to be, that other people may be falling out with Ange at this point, and rightfully so in their own right. I disagree, but they're allowed to feel however the fuck they want to feel. I'd never tell no motherfucker how to feel. But what I do know is that Ange is setting us up to create all these chances that all these motherfuckers right here are missing. I'm going to take down this comment so y'all can see it better. Right below my head. All these people, as I cycle through these chances, one of them is Son. And that's what bugs me. But I look at all these games and I look at all these chances that all these bozos are taking and not converting. And I say, well, how is Ange setting us up in a point in which he's trying to not fucking... Like, again, if we are 15% to 25% effective on our chances, we win versus Newcastle, we win versus Arsenal. Why are we not doing it? It's because, in my opinion, the best finishers are not trying to fucking have a go. It needs to be Son. It needs to be Solanke. It needs to be Maddison. And Maddison is a whole different boogie that we can get into. But right now, in regards to Ange, this is Arsenal. All these chances. Arsenal, clear, they're chances. They say we didn't get in their box. Fucking 75% of these are in their box. We're shooting it at the keeper, missing it, skying it, fucking it. Just fucking it. That ineffectiveness, that little minute difference right there is wins and losses. Who knows? We may get into a point next season where Spurs fans are now twerking for someone else to beat our ass. Because, oh, we want to stop so-and-so from doing such and such. And to me, we take care of our fucking business. We don't got to twerk for no other fucking club. Because that ain't how I ride. I'm a loyal motherfucker. You can ask my wife. You can ask my friends. You can ask anybody I give a fuck about. So to me, this problem we are having at Tottenham is not on Ange Postecoglou. I will full screen myself and repeat it. This problem we are having at Tottenham Hotspur is not on Ange Postecoglou. I am telling you 100% in my belief that it is not on Ange. Systematically, it is on the club. In execution, it is on the players. The tactics are not failing. Ange is not naive. Ange is not a fool. Ange has been fucking paid to do this for a reason. If he was a shitty chef, they would have stopped eating his food everywhere he went instead of promoting him to better and better restaurants. And now he's at the most prestigious restaurant and his fucking cooking methods work. Just because the restaurant's failing us in different departments, because the waiter's getting his fucking hair in it. You've got a bearded bartender dropping his pubic fucking face hairs in the drink. Now it's, oh, that's Ange's fault. Now, I do blame him for things. The fact that he allows Ryan Mason on the training pitch is a crime. But that's also on the club. Jose had to put up with it. Conte had to put up with it. Conte said, I don't want to put up with it. And then we signed Nuno, who said, I will put up with it. And then a few months later, Conte said, you know what? I will put up with it. Give me Ryan Mason. And this guy's on the pitch, and he's telling Brennan Johnson, Timo Werner, and everybody else, when you get that ball, don't even fucking look. Just swing it in the box. I would say, in my amateur opinion, maybe just a little glance. A little, whoo-hoo. Or maybe someone yells so I don't have to look up. I don't know. So when I see Brennan Johnson blindly swinging things into the box, I'm like, well, that is on Ange, because he's allowing Ryan Mason to say that shit on the pitch. As a clip that was released to all of us, we all seen it. But back to Ange Postecoglou specifically, it doesn't make sense to me. That's why I put it in the thumbnail. Make it make sense. I should have put please. There wasn't enough room. But please, make it make sense that we think we could go from one style of football to another style of football, to operating a certain way as a club, to minutely changing that way, albeit however wrong or right that is. The club, we all know how they operate. So when people say Timo Werner's on Ange, that ain't on Ange. But if you do want to say it's on Ange, then you got to hold Jed Spence, Richarlison, Fraser Forster, and you got to put that on Antonio Conte, a world-class manager. Same thing for Jose Mourinho. You got to put Joe Rodon, Gedson Fernandez, and the likes. I could keep on fucking going. Serge Aurier, Emerson Royale. Look, I don't think any of these managers that we've employed in the last few years asked for any of that. Brian Hill, no one asked for Brian Hill. So when the club continues to do something that it's always done, and I still see it being done to somebody else, and they say, oh, it's his fault, he accepted it. Well, yeah. You get offered the best job that you've gotten to this point in your lifetime. You feel like the amalgamation of all your hard work is finally paying off. And you say, I just got to do what I've been doing, but now on the biggest stage. And that's what he's trying to do. And I've always said the growing pains are going to be painful. These L's are going to fucking hurt. And I'm still pissed off about yesterday. But I think I'm more pissed off now about the fans' reaction to yesterday, the match before. I feel like the short-sightedness from the fan base is really uncalled for. Again, diagnose the problem. Don't diagnose a symptom of it. Ange Postecoglou struggling at Tottenham Hotspur is a symptom of it. He's not perfect. There are things that he gets wrong. I'm not deluded enough to think that he's some, knight in shining armor. He's a fucking man. And what do I know about men? They're stupid and they make mistakes a lot of times in their life. But all these other attributions they give to Ange Postecoglou, I just don't agree with, not in the slightest. People say all type of things about Ange Postecoglou, and they're right to do so. Yeah, just like I'm right to voice my opinion and share things, as are they, because it's how they see things. But for me, I think it's an overreaction. Ange out. I was on the football terrace yesterday. Shout out Henry Wright TV, Henry Talks Football, to both them channels. I thought he had a gross overreaction. Now I was fucking pissed off too. So I understood and I felt a lot of his frustrations. But I just felt like the reaction was kind of crazy. And then it all became like, now Mickey Van de Veen's going to get hurt because his hamstrings are going to go. It's just, again, when negativity and a negative thing happens, it's like a stone falling off a snowy fucking mountain. And eventually you get a big ass fucking snowball. And then you start talking about Mickey Van de Veen got glass hamstrings and Romero's twerking for Real Madrid and Son's an old man who can't run anymore and he's not a professional. Again, it just starts piling up and it reaffirms all those negative things that you think or that cross your mind. Because it crosses my mind with Son. What's going on? Why is he not shooting? But I don't think he's a washed athlete. Last year, they said he had no pace, and I seen him burning folks. This year, I ain't seen it. So maybe they're right now. Maybe they're wrong now. Who knows? I fucking don't. But anyone saying, oh, this is the absolute, this is the finale, I don't buy into none of that shit. You can't convince me to buy your pamphlet. I'm sorry. But people who want to always be right will tell you that they're always right. And I'll always tell you, I don't give a fuck what you think. You can agree with me and disagree with me. Just be cool, dude. And we all good. That's all it is. I just think the reaction was kind of crazy from Henry. Now I get like the heat of the battles, like you just came off it and you're fucking feeling some type of way. But like, what is it? Throw the baby out with the bathwater? Toys out of the pram? What other UK slang y'all got? I don't know. But there's a certain thing that I have lived by, and I've said it a few times on the channel here. And it's a little thing called attitude. Life, and I'm looking at the camera while I say this, because this is serious business now. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% on how you react to it. And I've lived by that since I was a teenager. Shout out my stepdad. He's the one who instilled that in me, because I was a shithead with a shit attitude. And he taught me not everything is as bad as you make it. You're allowed to make it a certain way. Like, you can't change things that happen to you. You can't change you get struck by lightning. You can't change you get hacked, all your shit go bye-bye. But what you can change is how you respond to it, therefore changing the repercussions of such. So for me, 10% of what happened to me yesterday was losing that fucking game. And percentage of me is still pissed off about it. But there's still a percentage of me that understands where we are at. I think people want us to be something we are not, whilst tearing us down at the same time. When it's something good for Tottenham, we're not Real Madrid, we're not Barcelona, we're not Bayern City, Liverpool, we're not these guys. We're this, we're down here, down here, down here. And then when we do shit that resemble us being down here, like below Arsenal on a talent level, on a where we're at in our project level, well then now it's how shitty are we? Look how bad we are. We're not doing this, we're not doing that. I hate the fucking term Rome wasn't built in a day. But it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm so fucking confused. That's the best way I can put it. Because we get away from Pochettino's style of football and we go with a winning manager. Win now, he always wins, and sack him right before a final. We get another guy, slightly similar in the defensive aspect. High emphasis on defense. Counterattacking football. Great. We got top 4, but then that guy fell out and it stopped working. Well, then we try and change. We literally killed it there. We said, all right, burn the fields. The crop's fucked. The yields are shit. Burn the crops. And we started over. And while we are still the same farmers on the same goddamn farm, we are trying something a little bit fucking different in regards to what we're trying to grow here. I still believe in my heart of hearts, in my head of head, in my soul, that Ange is not here to just be some kind of, he's a yes man, he's a wah. Ange doesn't operate like you, therefore he's X, Y, and Z. Wah. That's just particulars. That's just nitpicky. And you could be nitpicky. I don't give a fuck. My brother's real nitpicky with his food. Or at least he used to be. I don't think it's just people who are particular. You're allowed to not like this style of football. But I don't think ignoring other things to support narratives is really fair or constructive to the argument, or fair for the people who are trying to tune into channels and they're like, well, I don't know how I feel. I know I'm angry. And then they hear someone shouting at them how shit everything is. Then they start, well, maybe they're right. Ange is shit. And then that's when you're influencing people in a negative light in a manner in which it is not constructive to our club. In my opinion, I feel like it is setting us back when these fans fucking call for managers out, they get their way, and then we chalk and start over. And I'm fucking tired of it. Fucking tired of it. Tired of chopping, changing. Oh, now this. Oh, now that. Bro, we lost. Hold that fucking L. Our players were losers. Hold the L. I'm holding it. I prop up Romero every fucking week. And he got dunked on. Outside of that moment, I thought he was fantastic. But he got bodied, bitched, and babied all in one fucking 10-second clip. So, He's got to hold that. And as a supporter of Romero, I hold that. But I don't think Romero's a shit player now. Oh, he's always been a bozo. Get him the fuck out of my club. You know who I don't fucking want on my club? Arsenal simps. That goes for fans and players. And I'm looking at James Maddison because a lot of people prop up James Maddison, defend James Maddison. Oh, they're in his areas. Oh, he's taking the ball from him here. He's doing this and that. Hold Maddison accountable for what he does. Week number 1, tearing down Destiny while propping up Maddison, while Destiny statistically did better going forward and defensively than Maddison. And they didn't even occupy a lot of the same areas. There was a brief overlap in certain areas of their heat map, sure, but that's been a continual process. And Destiny was better than he's been most of the season. He's been pretty bad. But I don't think Destiny's a broken player. Oh, he's shit. Romero's shit. He's always been shit. Blah, blah, wah, wah. Miss me with that. All right? People can fuck up. People can have bad days. People can have good days. But I just think it's a gross overreaction to say, oh, because Romero got bitched, bullied, and dunked on, nah, this is Ange's fault. No, I'm blaming the fuckers who fail every time in the final third. That's why I started the show with this quote up in the fucking air. The manager that is a fucking history-making manager that manages a club in which a lot of people want us to strive for. My job is to take you to the final third. Your job is to finish. Again, I know I like to banter and say, I trust people's opinions who know better about things than me. And I use that in a sense to say, oh, Lionel Messi says Romero's the best defender in the world, therefore he's the best defender in the world. That's more just banter and fun shit talking. But when a fucking manager, ex-player, who's been successful at every level, and, you know, he says something, I put some stock into that. And Ange comes from the same school of philosophy. He gets us into the final third repetitively. And it's our players who let him down. I'm here every week talking about the same shit. Our players are letting him down, but then they blame Ange. Big up Kate. Some of the fan base has been shocking, to say the least. We don't deserve Ange. I agree. Big up everybody in the chat. I know I'm like really, really far behind, but I'm going to go ahead and skip on because, you know, it is what it is. Big up Savva. Says, I get your frustration, Jacob, but how much worse does it need to get? No manager has ever survived at Spurs with form this bad. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you're still here or not, but big up Savva, Football Heritage TV. I would say, again, referring back to what I was talking about in regards to the club, we burnt it all down and are trying again because what we did before wasn't working. Now this is allegedly supposed to work in the framework of what the club has put forth as their stipulations. Now, whether that part is right or wrong, the stipulations, the structure in place that we are going forward with, that is up for debate. And I am 100% blaming the club on. But in operating differently, you can't just do what you've always done. Because what you've always done hasn't fucking worked. So we have to do something different. So when you say no manager has ever survived as Spurs with form this bad, that to me says we're now operating differently. Because the reports coming out today, his job is safe. He's good. We believe in the project still. Which I'm thankful that shit came out because I was getting worried. I mean, 65,000 singing Ange Postecoglou in the first 10 minutes of the game. That got me a little feeling good too. But yeah, if this manager's surviving with this bad of form, that shows that we are trying to do something differently. And I appreciate the fuck out of that. And I hope we continue to try and drive down this road and see where it leads. Because all the other roads that we've gone down just hasn't worked. Just hasn't worked at all. Shit, this thing keeps refreshing and all these comments keep flying in. it's all on him. Come on, man. It's not. The players look disinterested with his style. I disagree with that. The tactics are really, really bad. I disagree with that as well. Sorry, mate. The results over a long time don't lie. Yeah, but I mean, let's go over all the results. If we're going to talk about results over a long time, why exclude the ones that go against the narrative that is being pushed? I just want to be fair to the argument. And the fucking numbers, even when you do that, aren't great. I'm not even trying to say, oh, if you include all of the data rather than exclude the portion that goes against your narrative, that's not even good. And I agree. Again, Savva and I agree a lot on things. Just typically on managers, we disagree. You wanted Conte out? I didn't want Conte out. Because I wanted to believe that what we were doing was going to lead to something, and we stopped doing it. And that's the part that fucking sucks. And I hope that we don't continue doing it. When will enough be enough for you, Jacob? Enough of what? Enough of what? You got to be specific. I don't know what you're talking about. Big up, THFC till I die, becoming a member. I don't know what membership you grabbed, my friend, but thank you so much for picking that up. But real quick, again, whether you agree or disagree, I don't want to ever tell people how to feel or how they should support. But just for me personally, I can only speak on how I feel. But big up, Dermatron. I see you got the Lover's Lane membership. You and Ben both re-upping on that membership, as well as being, I think, the two longest standing members over 2 years or something like that now. Anyway, look, I am running out of time. I got to keep going. I got to stop at the top of the hour. So I got about 42 more minutes, and I got a lot of bookmarks to get through. So let's see where I should pivot. I guarantee there's stuff that I left out that I really wish I would have mentioned. This is a video of the fucking skerbuffle. I thought it was kind of crazy. A little heated there. Like, why are they just pushing us like that? And everybody just being pushed and trying to quell it, bro. Jose told us we got a bunch of nice guys. We need to quit fucking being nice. I hear my son crying. I just need to text my wife, make sure he's okay. He's probably just waking up from his nap and he's pissed because I'm yelling. Solanke, I'll save that for another time. On Romero, I've got this. So apparently he said he came up with more excuses. After the game was over, Romero came up with more excuses. Now, I said this on Don Hassam's channel before I came on to here, that I saw enough excuses in that 10-second clip of him getting dunked on. He gets pushed, whether it be a foul or not, give a fuck, bro. Your job is to fucking deal with the adversities, whether right or wrong. No game's ever going to be 100% refereed perfectly or anything of the sort. So for me, a bunch of excuses on the pitch. And then afterwards, apparently says something to the effect of, oh, I was sick because I had to fly on a regular plane because Tottenham didn't fly me back from Argentina. Something like that.
Christian Romero has hit out at Tottenham's travel plans with a repost that slammed Spurs' decision not to fly their players back from...
So we apparently didn't fly our players back from international duty. He reposted an article that was in Spanish that says we lost to Tottenham, and then he claimed that they had the advantage on our side because we all were forced to logistically try. To me, now we're muddying up the waters. Excuses. This is why I was not good. This is why I got dunked on and looked at the ref to save me. I don't like that. That's two things in 24 hours from Romero I really don't fucking like. Because, number one, don't get bitched when you're our big dog. You're our Cujo. And you just got punked. And instead of doing something about it, you turn to the ref. Oh, shut the fuck up. I hate that shit. I say the same thing to Madison. I always keep my energy the same. And this is what I always try to do anyway. I am biased and I have, more leniency with people like Son, Ange, Romero, because I believe in them. But you can still piss me the fuck off. Madison does it all the time, pissing me off. He gets fouled a lot. And I agree, a lot of it's egregious. But you can't just always look at the ref to save you, bro. Because at a certain point, he's going to be like, fuck you, boy who cried wolf. Yeah, man. Jacob, smile for us. We should stream together. Yeah, we should, man. Let's get something planned. I don't have too much time, or else I would love to get you on. I would have texted you, because obviously I'm not on as late as I usually am, but I have to stop. My wife's got a client, and then I'm on American Waffle later on Staffy TV. So, but we should definitely discuss this, man, because it's a good discussion, and we both got a lot of love and respect for each other. Hope you're well. Big up Anthony Clark, Ozan, and AP, Eugene, how you doing? Love you, Jacob. Fuck this club. Don't let it ruin your life and mood. Hey, ain't that the truth? They've been trying for some time. But look, let me keep looking at the stuff that I've got. I'll keep scrolling through the chat to say hello. You still have a shit attitude. Huh? What are you talking about? I don't think I've ever had a shit attitude. I think it's dickheads like you coming into the chat want to piss on things. Hey, big up Savva grabbing that membership. I see you. Let me see. You'll tell me what you got there in a second. Do the lovers lane. Look at it. We all loving on each other. Come on now. We can disagree and love. Ain't that the truth? We all want Tottenham to fucking win at the end of the day. Let's remember the goal here. Whether we all agree, disagree, whatever, we all want Tottenham to fucking win. And if we win a trophy this year, if we go on and win an FA Cup, Carabao Cup, I think a lot of people are not going to look back at the Arsenal game and give a fuck because we won that year. You know what I mean? And quenching the thirst of the fucking thirsty is something I need because I am oh so thirsty. Cal, member for 12 months. Apparently, some of the fan base can't hack a rebuild. This is the one time I typically bring up the word rebuild because in order to rebuild, there must be something already built. And I think Savva said that once, and I agree with him because what have we built? Losses in finals. I don't want to rebuild a team almost good enough. I want to build a team that is good enough. So to me, it's a build, a new building, not a rebuilding, a new building. Because if we do what we did before, it's just going to end in a fucking more losses in the finals. So, hey, but big up Cal, member for 12 months, baby. That's a long time. We got a fucking 3-month-old YouTube baby, and ain't that beautiful? Big up Azad says Ange out. Look, again, you can be Ange out. Ain't no problem with being Ange out. You can be Ange out, bro. What do I know? I only know how I feel. I only know what I know. Yeah, see, Romero was excellent to a point. And that's what fucking lost us the game. So he's got to hold all that. And I like making as many excuses for the motherfucker as I can because I think he's got credit in the bank and he's got that dog in him. And I like me a woo-woo. But he does piss me off when he does shit like that. Don't be a pussy. Don't be our dude, our dog. Oh, we're in a fight. Someone's pushing somebody. Romero, help. And then he getting punked. And then looking at the ref to save him. Ain't no Captain Save a Hoe in this shit, baby. You got to save yourself. Real quick, I did see something about Ange and tweaking stuff. I do think at this point, it's clear that we are running with the talent that we have. We are running ourselves head first over and over into the wall. And that kind of sounded like ass claps, but it was our head hitting the wall. And I agree. He's got to change something. There's got to be things that do change. I don't think that's admitting that he's failed in his philosophy. I think you can build a bridge and it be like, it's kind of dangerous. A couple people have died. Let's fix it. And then you fix the bridge. And, RIP to the people who fell off, I suppose. I'm digressing because I love interacting with the chat. And I'm also trying to make sure that I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about in a short amount of time. Hi, Jacob. Big up, everyone. Big up, Sarita. Good to see you in the house. Big up to you, LFC Aaron. Joshua's here. Big up. Always big up, Perchy. I already said that. Big up, Dermatron. Big up. Where else? Who's here? Big up, Colin. Zapur. Hope Gaming. Hello, Hope Gaming. How you doing? Minchi. How you doing? The Reptile Keeper. Hello. Paul123. I think I already said hello to you. Ghost. I already said hello. Big up, Finn Rickwood. How you doing? Big up. Big up. Shit, this chat keeps updating, bro. Y'all are killing it. Y'all are killing. Make sure you're doing the same thing to the like button. Yes, I love you, Romero, but come on. What is it? Excuses, man. I can't take it. I wanted to listen to Expression's reaction here. This was from today, and then I also have his immediate reaction after the match. And so I thought, you know, we could look at today, and then we could look at his reaction from yesterday real quick. Oh, hang on. Wrong tab. There we go.
It's been 3 years, blood. Babies have been conceived, born, they're walking, they're talking, and we still haven't beaten Arsenal, blood. Oh, but X, we dominated the ball. We played well. We were unlucky, brother. They let us play with ourselves, bruv. They let us play with the...
This is a very big point as well. And I can't say that I necessarily agree with the sentiment that... Get Savva on for just 10 minutes. I mean, fuck it, bro. Here. Let me get Savva. Let me text him. I'll let Savva come on. I have a very, very short amount of time. I have to end in 27 minutes. Where's Savva? Savva. Nope, that's not Savva. Oh, I don't want to reveal too much detail, but I had a second interview with a television company in London. Funny enough. I guess I'm not completely bollocks. But I did my second interview today, and it went really, really well. I'll keep y'all posted on what that ends up happening there. Got like 15, 20 minutes. But welcome to join. Unless he was listening, then he already knows what I said, but I just made sure to text it too. Where am I in the chat? Big up, everybody. Big up. Again, we can all, bro, I'm Ange out, but I respect your stance, Jacob. Big up Finn Rickwood. Look, bro, you could be Ange out. And I like to make jokes. Like, I like to talk shit, just like everybody else. And I did tweet earlier this video. I just said Ange in. And then I put this video.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker. Hey, you are a horrible fighter, man. You never gonna get the fight, man.
You're a horrible fighter, man. I love the get the fuck out of here, man. Because that was great. I do love that. And I don't really mean like get the fuck out of here. I just find it as a funny clip. But can we blame Big Up Destiny? Can we blame Levy for making Kuti wait 2 days to catch a commercial flight and get home late instead of getting one of your best players home? Yes, we absolutely can blame him for that. But that's still him using a fucking excuse. If we won, would he have revealed this information to us? I don't think so. Anyway, let's see what else X says.
With the ball.
Oh, no, I was making a point that Arteta knew how we're going to play. Everyone knows how we're going to play. And we were still able to generate this amount of chances on the best back line in the league last year. So I feel like something right. We're doing something all right. It's just these fucking bums. And a bum. Just a fucking bum and a fucking idiot. Where's the clip? I got it somewhere.
And a bum, just a fucking bum and a fucking idiot.
But even knowing how we were going to set up, he knew that that's what he needed to do. And, you know, they won at the end of the day. But they did just sit there and let us play with ourselves. He's right.
And they watch us self-destruct like Drew Barrymore, fam. Watching Tottenham play football is like Stevie Wonder in an egg and spoon race. It's Premier League.
Okay, that's objectively very funny.
Past the parcel, but we're toothless, bruv. We're Mark Briscoe FC, absolutely toothless, bruv. All we do, yeah, you know what this football's like, Tottenham's football? We huff and we puff. We huff and we puff. You know what we're doing, Rose?
He's right. We do huff and puff. We do huff and puff, but you still have to tactically have the ability to be in a position to huff and puff and to try and blow the house down. The part is blowing the fucking house down that we fail at.
We're out here smoking shisha. We couldn't inhale a spliff if we wanted to. We get put in a spliff. And look at the goal that we conceded, bro. Set piece, bruv. The way Vicario refused to come off his line, you would think that he was on coke, blood. You would think we had Tony Montana in goal, blood. You get...
Okay, that's funny too. And Vicario, that's another story for maybe today.
Romero, that brother lost Gabriel quicker than Chris Howard, fam. Thought it was Gabriel Union, blood. I couldn't believe it. In the summer, we needed quality, and we're out there shopping, fam.
Let me just emphasize this, baby.
In the summer, we needed quality, and we're out there shopping, fam. We're out there moving like, not a football club, we're moving like Hogwarts. We're bringing in kids, blood. That's what we're doing. We're bringing in Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall. Where were they in the North London derby? These men are on the bench watching Sidemen videos. They ain't had a minute. Arsenal didn't play well, but they didn't need to play well.
Too.
They let us do what we do. You get me? From last season, I was talking about the team. Then we went into the window. Our first signing was Timo Werner, fam. Our first signing. We don't learn from our mistakes. No, we don't, fam. We punish ourselves, blood. 50 Shades of Tottenham, blood.
He's right. We do punish ourselves. And I think sometimes we're a glutton for punishment. Now let's see his reaction from yesterday. Oh, it's muted.
The Hurst and the Helmsley, blood. 3 years in a row, fam, that we've lost to these, man. It ain't THFC, it's THC, blood. Because it's spliff after spliff after spliff, and I've had enough of this, blood. People always tell me, X, you know, they don't deserve you, this, that, and the other. Watching that today, they don't deserve me, blood. They don't deserve me, blood. Side to side, side to side. These man doing the candy dance for 90 minutes, blood. No shots, blood. You get me, fam? Vasectomy, blood. Vasectomy, blood. No shots, blood. You know what watching that football's like? It's like spending half an hour with a gal and you can't take her bra off, blood. It's all foreplay, blood.
That's something I've said a lot, that it feels like with Newcastle. That was the comparison that I made. It's like we were doing all this and that, but at the end of the day, girl didn't go home with us. She went home with somebody else. We bought all the drinks, gassed her up, and she was interested, but we couldn't close the deal. It wasn't for her being lack of interested. It was us lack of ability to close the deal. Big up Max Line for the super chat. Says, big up everyone. Hashtag Levy out. Big up Max Line. Appreciate that donation to the channel. And donation to the channel. We've got another donation to the channel, but it is of time. Hello, Savva.
Hello, mate.
How you doing? Cleaning up a mess over there?
Good. I thought I'd just come on to show that we're all allowed to not hate each other just because we've got a different opinion.
Yeah, that's what it's about. You know, because we often disagree on a lot of things, Ange Postecoglou related mostly. And I find it's like a recurring theme with us is managerial specifically. But I think on a club standpoint, you and I agree on all levels that Enoch has been a failure. 1 trophy in 25 years is all I needed. That's all anyone needs to hear. I guess where we start to differ is I'm like, this manager can do it if we help him, and we don't. And you're like, it doesn't matter if we help him. Correct me if I'm wrong. With Ange, is there any amount of help that we could give him where this does work?
Not if he doesn't bend the mold. Look, I suppose the difference is when we talk about builds, and you're right, when you said about rebuilds, I've always said that for years, that when we talk about a rebuild, I've always asked the question, what are we rebuilding from? But when we talk about builds, I would get it if we were actually showing signs in transfer windows that we were building. You know, if we'd had a transfer window where we had bought proper wingers, where we had bought proper central midfielders, then I might say, I get it. It's a build, he needs time. But the problem is we've just gone out and bought kids and more kids. And I just can't see how anything changes. For me, one of the biggest problems with Ange is I think he's got the players. I know this sounds so backwards, right? But I think he's got the players to play how Conte did play. You know, I think he's got the players to play wing backs. And I just think if he played wing backs, I truly believe we'd be a really good top 4 team. I just don't think this formation suits anyone.
I find it interesting because while I agree that if we had these defenders with Antonio Conte, we're a completely different team. And it's like, if Ange had Kane I think that one thing, if he had Kane, even Lucas Moura is an upgrade on Brennan Johnson. As sad as that is to say, Bergwijn is an upgrade on Brennan Johnson. Like, that is where we're at with that other winger position. And I feel like, for me, it's like we have a defensive manager who has a great attacking force with shit defense, and then vice versa. We get an attacking manager who has great defenders and a shit attack. And it's like, clearly, we're missing that bite in the final third. Somewhere.
Yeah, look, we're definitely missing bite in the final third. I think, listen, what it all boils down to, and this is something that we can all debate for years and years, and we'll never know the answer to it, is who is buying these players, right? And I think the problem for me is that Ange is that first manager, and listen, I'm not saying I believe he bought all these players, but the moment he turned around and took responsibility for those players, I think he put a lot of pressure on himself. And when I look at Werner, Odegaard, Johnson, Richarlison, I just don't know. I don't see it changing. And the thing for me is, I agree with what you said earlier. I think Sonny is, I've never said he's world-class. I have always said he's a world-class finisher. And for me, I just don't feel that we're getting Sonny in those areas. And that's why, this is just me personally, Jacob. This is just for me. With Porro and Udogie, I think they would be absolutely superb as wing-backs, free centre-halves, and actually allow James Maddison to operate as a 10 behind Solanke and Son. And I think we'd be the fourth best team in the country. I genuinely think that. So for me, yes, he needs some better players, but I don't think he's ever going to get the players he needs to make this particular style successful. I just think it's a real anomaly style of play, and to make it work, I think you kind of need, he kind of needs perfection in every area, and I just don't think we're ever going to do that with these owners. So it's kind of like rock and a hard place, but. The last thing I'll say, Jacob, is, and surely even somebody who likes him, like obviously we're polar opposites in terms of our opinion of Ange, but he's got to start winning games of football. Like that's any
Absolutely.
manager. He's got to. We've got Coventry followed by Brentford. So let me ask you a question, right? If we lose I'm not saying we will, but if we lose both Coventry and Brentford, do you not think this man is a dead man walking? That would be. I
typically like to apply contextual evidence and reasoning behind certain things. Yeah. If you can, as long as you can hear me. But in this hypothetical, assuming it's still what's happening and he's still doing the same thing and hasn't made those minor tweaks, like a lot of people are indifferent and from one to the next how they want to see Ange change things. I, as a huge Ange supporter, admit that he needs to tweak something. And minor changes I'm fine with. Less inverting on the fullbacks, less maybe when one pushes up more, one, and there's been a little bit of that, but maybe a little bit more is needed. To me, I always feel like when you're making the stew, you never throw in as much salt as you think. You throw in a little bit and then you see, because you can always add more salt. You can't take the salt out. But where we're at now, it's where the plate is hitting the dinner table. And we just fucking lost and spilt the dinner all over, and it tasted like shit when we did taste it. So the point is, for me, this is a new juncture with Ange, because we are where we're at. And when you talk about, these amount of games and this, I like to hit back with, include the first 10 games. But I also like to remember, grounded, even if you include those 10 games, all of Ange's tenure, it's not a great statistical outlook.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I just could see the growth in the short amount of time, while still understanding there's a lot more that we got to do. And Ange alluded to this in the pre-match press conference, that there's a huge deficit to challenge 3-2-1. The clubs that were 3-2-1, they're 20 points respectively ahead of us. That's a huge gap to close.
This is the two different things for me, Jacob. When I say things like, I'm not coming out in videos and on streams and going, ow, 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 ow. I'm also saying, if I wake up tomorrow and he's not here, I don't care, right? I genuinely don't care. I don't rate him as a manager. But my My issue isn't that we're not competing with City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. That's not my issue with the man. I don't think any manager should be with the players that we've got. What I do believe, though, is that when we talk about patience, when we talk about a build, I do believe that the players we've got are better than the form that we're seeing. That's only my opinion, but I believe there's enough there in that back four. I think there's enough in the midfield. And whilst I think it's quite weak, I think there's enough there in the midfield and up front that we shouldn't be losing 7 out of 11. That's my opinion. I'm not expecting him to, so when a lot of people, their response to me, Jacob, is always, oh, you want to win now. I'm like, I've not said he has to win anything for me to like him. I just think that any football club at this elite level, whether or not fans are asking other fans to be patient, there's only so much you can do in terms of not winning games. That's not on Ange. That's any football manager. And the way I always position this is, if this was one of our rivals and their manager was doing this, what would we be saying? If this was Chelsea, we'd be saying, God, they're a mess. And unfortunately, for me, I think Ange needs, I think he's got to win the next 3. I think he's got to beat Coventry, followed by Brentford, followed by Karabakh. I think he's got to A, help himself, B, get some feel-good factor back into the fan base, and C, get some belief in the players, because at the moment, it's like a lot of huff and puff and not really any blowing of the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what X was saying right before you joined on the clip I was looking at, where he's like, we're just huffing and puffing and huffing and puffing. And I feel like Ange is getting us in front of the house to blow it down. And it's that little last part that is so crucial that's just not happening. Like, again, like the goal is to fucking score and fucking win the game. And we get there, don't. Get there, don't. Get there, don't. They knock a couple times, boom, they get there. And I didn't mean the fireworks, but that's I'm doing too many thumbs activity.
I don't know how to do that on mine. I don't know how to do that.
I think it's only Apple products. But
yeah, I've got this. I'm on my work laptop at the moment, but I don't understand how to work a Mac at all. You know me in technology. I'm rubbish.
Yeah, I got your back. Don't you worry about that, Savva. But in regards to Ange and results specifically, I agree. And those 3 games you just mentioned, it's not Arsenal. It's not a Newcastle with a great manager trying to improve. Yeah. No excuses. Same thing I felt with Everton. Same thing I felt with Leicester. The only excuse was these players were fucking still sleeping or something, and they played like it. But no excuse for drawing a Leicester. We should have won that. There would have been no excuse for Everton. Newcastle, little excusey, but still overall, we should, if we were 15-25% effective in what we were trying to do, we would have won that game. Arsenal, same thing, but we're not. And those are 2 games where you can look at them and say, okay, Arsenal is better than us where they're at right now. No one can dispute that.
Of course.
You can, I mean, we can, but like realistically, I love to be delusional and realistic. I'm a yin and yang of dreams and reality, and love and hate and all the fluid emotions. But I really know that, like, if we could just score that damn ball, man, we would have won them 2 games. If we had just a better, and we've even agreed on this, like in the past, you get Mohamed Kudus. I even threw Moussa Diaby. I think he's a loser now because he went to Saudi, but that's another story. But you get any improvement at the right wing, or the left wing, and move Sonny centrally and just let him, like, if the system is using the left wing and the way that I've seen Sonny used, he should not be there because we're not utilizing his strengths. And that's where I also critique, like, is it Ange, is it the players? And there's this gray area where I give leniency because I feel like it's not all black and white. And I don't know, it's a fluid situation, but in respect to what you were saying, firstly, the next 3 games, Coventry, you fucking get knocked out by Coventry, no fucking excuse. Fulham, I've found reasons because the window was about to close. We needed players out. We needed to prove a point, and we almost won, but we couldn't. And they're a Premier League team, very good Premier League team, by the way. I think on your form table, they're above us. So it was, I can be okay at the end of the day with that. But Coventry, no. I don't care if we recycle 11 players. You should not lose that based on stature. Brentford, we're in our second year of our project. They're in their third, fourth, fifth, whatever with Thomas. But regardless, we should be beating Brentford. They gave City a hell of a challenge. To lose that is inexcusable. A draw is ridiculous, but you got to win that one as well. The third Carabag, I don't even fucking know who that is. You got to win that too.
I mean, look, the Coventry game, I agree that look, Coventry are going to be well up for it, and it's a cup final for them, but there is no excuse. Brentford, I think this is going to be a really tough game because let's be fair, whatever people say, whatever we think of Ange, teams now are adopting the same tactic to try and beat us. They are happy for us to have the football. They retreat from minute one and they just try and hit us on the counter-attack. And Brentford did that brilliantly against City. Now, I did see today that Visser is out injured for 2 months. So that's a positive for us. Not saying I don't wish injury on anyone, but Visser's out for 2 months. Plus, they've already lost their other striker.
He's a hell of a player too. I would have taken him in Mbeumo, by the way.
I would, but this is where I think we'll find some common ground, right? Because I think more YouTubers, we need to find common ground as well as disagreeing. My concern is when I look at, and again, we can blame this on Lang, Ange, the scouts, Levy, whoever. But when I look at last summer, we spent nearly 100 million on Valise, Brennan Johnson, and I'm missing one, and Kulu, who we signed off on that summer. This summer we spent 100 million on Dominic Solanke and Odegaard. And it's just kind of like, I look at all the money that's been spent on these players and I think to myself, could we have done better? Like, well, not could we. We should have done better. And I truly believe as well, this guy, we've had this debate all summer, not me and you, all football fans, about does he need a 6? I just think this team is screaming out for a Locatelli type that can sit in front of the back four, collect the ball, and actually let James Maddison stay up the pitch because somebody else is starting off play from the base. And I think if he just made a couple of tweaks like this, I think we'll be a much better team.
Oh, but you just hate Ange. You want us to lose, don't you?
Listen,
I'm just kidding, people. I just love the narrative because, I mean, I'm hearing it straight from Savva. Just the little things. Again, I think to a degree, everyone has varying levels of what they would like to see changed, right? What they would like to see different with Ange specifically and with the club. So just for reference, like you mentioned the money and stuff, and I agree with you in the sense we're not accountants. At the end of the day, I'm a football fan. I care about the football. What player are you bringing me? I don't give a damn what it means to the balance sheet personally. And I when I do the numbers and stuff, I look at other folks like Liverpool. You would take a lot of their forwards, right? And they've spent about 200 million and they're not happy with a lot of their forwards. They still say Salah's our only creator. He's the only one who does. If he doesn't do this, no one else can. So it's interesting because it's a lot of clubs spend poorly. We've spent money. There's no excuse. It's not that Levy doesn't spend. It's we don't have people instilling the right folks that we're looking at. Like whoever presented Timo Werner, I would slap him. I genuinely would slap them because yes, Ange is at fault for saying okay, but I don't blame him. I know he wasn't like, first thing of business, give me that Timo guy. You know, I was just complaining about attack. Give me that guy who was a part of the problem. And then he doesn't start him for the first few games. That to me was indicative of he is just a warm body who can run. And I mean, that's really all he offers on the pitch as well. But I don't blame Ange for that.
Do you know where I think Ange could really get some people on side as well? I mean, look, I don't want this to be an I told you so moment, but all throughout the summer, I heard everybody raving and creaming their pants, pardon the expression, for all of the
fans here are used to that kind of language.
But
we keep it wet here.
Everyone was getting way too excited about, Donnelly and Lancashire and Mikey Moore and Bergvall and Gray. I think this manager, if he started introducing some of them, I'm not saying start them, I think if he started introducing Mikey Moore with 15, 20 minutes to go in games, I think you start to get people a little bit on side. You know, I don't know how you feel, but me as a fan, when we're chucking on Timo Werner for 15, 20 minutes, if that's Mikey Moore, I'm more interested. Yeah, I'm more interested to go, oh, hang on, that's Mikey Moore. He's one of our own. Let's give this kid a chance. Let's see what he can do.
More of a risk, more of a reward. I agree.
It is. But you know what? The likes of Johnson, the likes of Werner, they're not doing anything. They're not offering goals. They're not offering assists. So get Mikey Moore in there. You know, we've seen some of them have really good pre-seasons, and none of them are anywhere to be seen. And this is the problem for me, where I probably butt heads with people who really love Ange, Jacob, is I hear all summer it's a youth project and he loves the kids and the kids are going to play. Cool. Well, let's start seeing Mikey Moore, right? Let's sell Ben Davis and let's keep Ashley Phillips, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's see some of these kids. Then
I think that Phillips thing specifically, like, if I wish, my wife is texting me and I do have to wrap this up. I wish we could go longer. We got to do a show very, very soon together, because I think these are really good conversations to have, because Phillips, for me specifically, that's why I think Skip and Archie Gray were used as that center back starting and off of the bench, because I just think he doesn't see in Ashley Phillips anything that he can utilize yet. And like, that is an indication of our club again. We haggled for Ashley Phillips for a month or so, over $6 million, I think it was. So that is ridiculous. But I just think Ange is rolling with the punches and saying, it's okay, I'm not being beat up over here, whilst we don't know the degrees of punches he's getting. That's a silly comparison. But anyway, look, Savva from Football Heritage TV, obviously everyone knows you. It's in the link of the description of this video. So make sure you are subscribed, whether you agree or disagree. We all agree. I want to see Tottenham's armpits. That's what we all crave, right? Tottenham's armpits out in the air, letting us see them pits. That's what I want. I want to lift some trophies, but we weren't going to lift a trophy yesterday. We're not going to lift a trophy in 3 weeks' time. But the Carabao Cup is the first opportunity, and we will be playing Coventry. So we really got to, we can't fucking lose that, in my opinion. No excuse. If that happens, that is quickly. Go ahead.
I know you've got to go, but just really quickly, this is a real big decision for Ange now. Because I reckon, had we have won 3 of these first 4 games and we were sitting here on 9 points, I truly believe he would have just gone Lancashire, Moore, Bergvall, Gray, Spence. I'm not sure, with the start we've had, Jacob, I'm not sure he can afford to weaken the team and get knocked out. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure he can take that risk. So I'm really interested to see what the 11 is. But listen, I know you need to go. We'll do another show at some point. And everybody... I did a post earlier just about, look, all YouTubers put on a free platform for everyone. So let's just always debate the point, and let's not be chucking any bad vibes. Yeah. So look, I'm going to go.
This is why I appreciate you, Savva, because again, we come from 2 different frame set of thought, but we both agree on the same thing for Tottenham. Damn it. Let me win something.
Dude,
so
when Ange gets sacked, I won't be sorry, you will, all right?
When we lift a trophy and Ange is the one, and I got fucking big Ange right here lifting a trophy on my arm, then who go? Hey, wait, I would say hello to Ange.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't have any tattoos. If Ange Postecoglou lifts a trophy this season, I will get a tattoo of Ange Postecoglou. No,
oh, you said it. You said it. An hour 15 in. If Ange is going to get a tattoo, or Savva's going to get a tattoo if Ange wins a trophy. Big shit. I love that. Savva, much love to you and your family.
See you, man.
Get it. Maybe just get it like right here or something. So that way, which side of it depends what side she sleeps on. Just get it on the opposite one. But anyway, we'll speak very soon. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for the support. Shout out to sponsors tonight. Savva being one of them, grabbing his membership. Max Lyon, Christopher Ward, even though he's here to big up the Galapagos Islands. Big up you, buddy. Enjoy yourself. Cal L Agent, Dermatron, and Ben Coffin. Thank you so much, all y'all sponsoring the channel tonight. Big up the chat. Again, sorry I couldn't spend as much time with you as I wanted to, but we'll probably be back tomorrow or the next day very, very soon, and we're going to keep talking more Tottenham. But it's okay, everyone. It's not over yet. And we will be back. I believe in Ange. In Ange we trust. Come on, you Spurs.